aspirants. So we are doing with the daily current affairs analysis in a very short and precise way. So to start with, the first issue is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad is in news, who is very important person behind for the Muslim demand for Pakistan. So this comes under GS1 Modern India for prelims. You need to study about this personality. So the contribution of Maulana Azad, who was a proponent of Hindu-Muslim unity, opposed to partition. So he started a weekly journal in Urdu called Al-Hilal, and that plays a very important role in bringing Hindu-Muslim unity, because after this happened after the Morley Minto reforms 1909. And also he started a weekly called Al-Balag, the same mission to propagate Indian nationalism and to bring the Hindu-Muslim unity. Okay. And he supported non-cooperation movement 1920, which is started by Gandhi, and he entered the Indian National Congress in 1920. 1923, he was elected as the president of Indian National Congress. At the age of 35, he became the youngest person to serve as the president of Indian National Congress. But though he was arrested in 1930 for the violation of salt law, because he was part of the Gandhiji Salt Satyagraha, he then again became the president of Congress in 1940, and he was in the post till 1946. As an educationist, he infused the Eastern and Western concepts, and he was one of the founding members of the Jamia Millia Islamia University, which is originally established at Aligarh. And after post-independence, he also contributed much. Like in 1947, he became the first education minister of Free India, and he was remained till his death in 1958. In his tenure, he have done so much of effort and work. Like first IIT, IAC, School of Planning Architecture, and UGC were established under his tenure. Indian Council for Cultural Education was introduced, and he was posthumously awarded India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Next. So the verdict and the hung assembly. This comes under GS2 Parliament. All you need to study about hung parliament, which means in parliament where no party has working majority. A hung parliament means it occurs when neither of the party has gained a majority. No party can there will be no party with has majority, so no party can assume control over the executive. It is not a time specific phenomena. Even when a party or pre-electoral alliance gained a majority and formed the government, then that can be also cause a hung parliament. So if this situation arises, constitutional institution says that president is empowered to take certain steps. So in India, fresh elections are conducted when none of the party is capable of forming the government. Until then, president rule is applied. So bringing president rule means in case of Lok Sabha election, in case of assembly, governor has the opportunity so that the parties can form a coalition government. Okay. So about this, already the Sarkaria Commission had observed that first preference should be given to the pre-electoral alliance if they attained a majority. Second preference is given to the single largest party which is not having a majority. Third preference should be given to the post-electoral alliance with the majority. And last preference should be given to the post-electoral alliance where some partners join the government while others provide outside support. Okay. Next, opposition parties welcome Supreme Court verdict on appointment of Election Commission. So appointment of Election Commission is very important. Repeatedly in news, this comes under GS2 Election Commission of India. Supreme Court, which is said to be a landmark judgment, has restricted government power to appoint the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner, saying that appointment will now be done on the advice of a committee comprised of PM, Leader of Opposition Lok Sabha, and the Chief Justice of India. So all you need to study about Election Commission, which is a permanent and an independent body established by the Constitution to ensure free and fair election. And Article 324 provides the power of superintendence, direction, control of election to Parliament, State Legislature, Office of President, Office of Vice President shall be vested with the Election Commission of India. So Constitution provides for the composition. So Election Commission consists of CEC and other election commissioners, and the other number will be fixed by the President. The appointment also made by the President. The President can appoint after consulting with the Election Commission some regional commissioners also if required. Condition service tenure also fixed by the President. Today Election Commission has been a multi-member body. We have one election CEC and two election commissioners, and they both have equal power and receive equal salary allowances. In case of difference of opinion, then CEC and other election commissioner will be voted, and it is decided by the majority. And they hold the office for the tenure of 6 years or until they attain 65 years, whichever is earlier. State Election Commission is not concerned with the election for state. Actually for State Election Commission has the role to conduct election only for panchayats and municipalities. Because Constitution vests the State Election Commission, that consists of State Election Commissioner, Superintendent's direction, control and preparation of electoral rolls for panchayats and municipalities is be done by the State Election Commission, and the Commissioner is appointed by the Governor. The provisions providing for setting up of State Election Commission is almost identical with respect to Election Commission of India. Okay, thank you.